is Kevin Rice. I'm with a creative agency called Hathway. We do high-end design, and we use Joomla as our technology platform.
My name is Jesse Dundon. I also work with Hathway. I'm from San Luis Obispo, California, and we've been using Joomla for about 3 years now.
Joomla was actually our first the first time we actually started doing web design. Neither of us were trained in web design, so we started freelancing. We just taught ourselves Joomla. We kind of had a mentor who taught us the ropes, and it was a lot of fun because without any technical knowledge, I could plug and play, and within a month we had a pretty large social networking with very robust features, a great site, and it was just very easy to pick up on.
We never intended to be doing web development. We kind of fell into it. We learned Joomla for a side project, and the economy tanked. That didn't really pan out, but people started asking us to build them websites because they saw what we did and they liked it, and just one website led to another one and another one and another one, and then we built proficiencies in a couple of Joomla extensions actually, and we're able to leverage those communities to grow because of our expertise there, and it just kept building on itself, and we kept getting bigger clients and just climbing the ladder.
I mean, for me, it's more or less the community involvement. I've had a significant passion for Joomla since day one. The reason that we use it on a technical level is probably more or less just because of our knowledge of the system. A lot of people come to us and say, here's a PSD file, make this into a reality, and it might be a challenge for people that aren't familiar with Joomla. However, we're able to accomplish those design implications with Joomla.
Yeah, I mean, it's a system that's easy to use. We're kind of niched as a higher-end Joomla design firm. In that, there's a definite need for that. I'd say we have about half of our customers, actually probably more like 75% of our customers come to us because they know that we're good at Joomla. And the other 25%, which can sometimes be bigger projects, come to us because they know we're good at design and the websites work. And Joomla is just a way to accomplish the requirements that they're looking for, if it's e-commerce or directory or just a robust content management system. We never had a designer on staff until the guy that we started, we contracted our work to, and we contracted our own design to. We eventually just brought him in because we started to realize that we were sending all of our design work to him, and he was only doing design work for us. We've had to work with him a lot. He came from a Flash background. He's an actual artist, so he does paintings and murals and things like that. But we've had to really work with him to help him understand how the web works in general, and just little things like you have to have a fluid height on something. It's not always going to be the same height because somebody might have 8 paragraphs in their article. You can't really control that sometimes with clients. And just getting people that know how to do HTML and CSS, and then teaching them how Joomla is supposed to work, so that they can actually leverage the tools that are put in place with like a body class suffix or module class suffixes or something. That definitely helps them, because Joomla's got a lot of these tools in there to make it dynamic and to make it easy to design for. If you don't know how to leverage them, then you're gonna reinvent the wheel over and over.
I'd say we've also altered our design process from the traditional process of create a PSD, get it signed off, code it out, beta, launch. With some of these larger interactive portals, we'll start with a PSD file, get the initial concept approved, and then we'll launch something like Joomla Social, get all the elements in there so a designer can see what I actually need to design for, kind of how to design around the feature set. So we have more of an integrated design build process with those interactive projects as opposed to a straight informational site.
I'd say, the main ways we interact with the Joomla community are through our clients, people that come to us because we've had people come to us because their site's on Joomla and somebody totally messed it up and didn't know what they were doing. And they're at their wits' end with Joomla saying, hey, I'm sick of Joomla. Joomla doesn't do what I want it to do. It's the least flexible system out there. Like I can't change anything around, blah, 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 and take a look at their templates. Like, well,
everything's hard-coded.
Yeah, hard-coded menu and no module positions. So that's the purest example of being a Joomla evangelist and taking somebody who hates Joomla, rightfully so, because somebody totally screwed it up, and flipping them around 180 degrees. I have testimonials that say exactly that. When I came to Hathway, I hated Joomla, and that was on my last straw. When I left Hathway, I loved Joomla. I recommend it to everybody. So we kind of, as a marketing company, as a company that's always doing new projects and convincing people to use Joomla or convincing them to stay with Joomla, we kind of feel like we're on the front lines representing Joomla, to the business community, and then also recruiting in designers and developers who are good at, custom work and saying, hey, actually, if you can use Joomla, you can do a lot more, and you can build an extension, do something you have to worry about building the whole framework up, and we've definitely converted some developers and some designers as well.
Yeah, we've seen some of our WordPress designers make that transition.
Yeah, like, man, Joomla does everything I wish WordPress would do. This is awesome. It's funny that you say that. We actually led one of the last sessions was a focus group on promoting Joomla. The term I was throwing around at the first night here on Friday was making Joomla sexy again. There hasn't been really a concerted effort to market Joomla in a particular way. Drupal and WordPress are kind of shepherded by their commercial, whether it's an owner like Acquia or just somebody who started WordPress.com like Automatic. There's no commercial company guiding everything, so trying to see what we can do to create a consistent marketing message for Joomla and to help everybody out who's a Joomla practitioner, have a strong set of tools that they can use to tell about what Joomla is and how many websites are built on Joomla and what it can do for you. Because we do a lot of that in our sales process, is just explaining what Joomla is and how it can help. It's been a lot of fun. It's my first Joomla day. I really wish that we would have brought our entire company here. I've learned a lot. I know that the people working for me would have learned a lot as well and would have made some good connections. Things as simple as tricks for templating for the designers, how to code an extension properly for developers. Those are all things that would have been awesome to get them involved with. It's been great meeting people. People like I remember your picture from like Pixel Praise stuff. Like, oh, that's the guy. I recognize that guy. To people like Lewis who code Joomla itself. It's awesome meeting them. And then the OSM team and people like Ron and all the leadership people. It's been great to finally meet a lot of them. So
right. For me, it's been all about just building these connections and relationships that I've had, communications through different forums or emails back and forth, and now actually being able to meet them in person and shake their hand. It really bridges that gap from electronic communication, and now you get to meet them in person. So that's been the biggest thing I've taken away from this event. However, I definitely will be bringing our entire design and development team to the next Joomla Day.
I mean, if anything, I'd just like to say, thank you to Joomla and thank you to the community for, for
You're welcome.
for all the hard work. I mean, it's awesome being here and knowing that it's not just us. There are businesses who their entire revenue stream comes from Joomla, and it's awesome that a community can kind of create that economy all the way down to these small businesses and businesses like ours that started out smaller and now growing, and it's all thanks to Joomla. So it's awesome to be a part of that. I'm excited to start giving back a little more as well, and
Definitely. I think that'll be the next step for us, is getting much more involved, and we're obviously very passionate about promoting Joomla, and I think that's where we want to kind of step in and try and help out in any way possible.